Hey there, welcome to Super Stock Bros. My name is Ace, and today we're going to be talking about the current state of the market, our previous picks and how our portfolio is doing, and the picks that we want next. So stay tuned. All right, so I'm really excited to talk about this one. We basically doubled up our swing portfolio, and we called it ahead of time, which was great. So in the March 16th video that we released, we said that BRPA was going to have some results coming out at the end of March, and they were most likely going to be great results for their COVID treatment, their nasal treatment, and they were about to release their 60-day report. They basically gave you the timeline at the end of March, and that's exactly what happened. And what happened for BRPA is essentially the stock doubled up. It went from 29 to around 55-ish, and the warrants were sitting at around $6, doubled up to $12, actually hit around 14 at one point. And it was a huge win. So we got in early. We called exactly when it was going to happen. We put it out on the video. I hope that some of the viewers got in on the trade. This was a great trade overall. So that basically doubled up our portfolio here. I know it says negative because we just set this up, but actually that's not true. We went from 11,000 starting point to around 17,000. So we're up pretty big here. We're around 50%-ish. So that's pretty great, and that's going to actually set us off pretty well on our swing road here. So let's continue with this momentum. It took a while to get that trade, I must admit, but I'm looking for the next one very soon, which is going to be pretty great. As well as I currently still hold the IPOF warrants and the BTWN units, so I'm still in those trades. I know SPACs got beat down. It was kind of unfortunate because the entire market is in a risk-off situation, but I do believe SPACs will come back in the future. Okay, so next up with our SPAC warrant bullet, we have, as you remember, I put it into IPOF a long time ago, and it's down pretty huge, but I'm saving that SPAC warrant bullet specifically for SPAC warrants, so I'm just going to keep that going, and we'll keep playing our swing portfolio while we wait. So that's where we're at, and we'll continue to stay along that road. Like I said from the very beginning, this would be maybe 3 to 6 months of a play, and we're definitely going to stick with it. Although we were hoping for the shorter end of that, the market volatility is not playing very well for SPACs, which is unfortunate, but I say stick with it. And that's exactly what I'm going to do, because you can't really go much lower with these SPACs at the current moment. And I think people are going to eventually pile in once they get an influx of cash. So we're sticking with that. And finally, our play tracker. I just wanted to point out, in our Discord channel, I asked all of you to join if you wanted to. And in our Discord channel, I did point out that BRPA was a play that I was going to make here on March 23rd. And if you remember, that's before BRPA went up like crazy. We can actually pull that up. Now, if you take a look here, we pulled up the BRPA chart. It went from, on March 23rd, it was around $27, and it shot up all the way to, at least 41. It actually hit a high of 56 here. So we got that double up. Okay, so what do we do next? Well, I'm taking it very, very slow in this market because while there are a lot of great opportunities, as you can see, most of the picks that I really like are down to pretty low levels. Square near 200 is incredible. I like Roblox around 65. ROKU under 300 is incredible. Etsy under 200 is great as well. Now, these are all great prices, but the thing is, it's hard to determine what is going on exactly in the market because of the high volatility being caused by these hedge funds going bankrupt, as well as the counterparty risk for the hedge funds going bankrupt. So, like, for example, did Credit Suisse bank a bunch of money into this hedge fund? Did JP Morgan also borrow or help borrow cash for this hedge fund? Stuff like that. With this kind of risk, you never know if there's going to be a domino effect like there was back in 2008, right? So you got to be very, very careful. And tech stocks are usually the ones where people take profits out of. They're highly volatile. So, if you're a bank or you run accounts in a bank and you have a fiduciary duty to your clients, you're going to be taking out profits from the tech stocks and putting them into lower risk investments, right? So just be careful. I'm still dollar cost averaging in whenever I get a chance. Square I've been loading up. I like TDOC. I like Tesla, of course. So these are all stocks that I'm looking at very closely. I love Airbnb. It's going to be part of the recovery and it's tech. So I love it. I'm waiting for it to come down around this 160-ish area, but I'm not going to hold my breath on that one. We'll see what happens. ARK, of course, has been taking a beat down because of the tech volatility as well. So just be careful overall, but this is a great time to build up your long-term portfolio. Dollar cost average in, don't put it all in at once. Spread it out over weeks. If you're going to do that, that's what I'm doing, at least. SPACs continue to be very, very volatile. As I mentioned, BRPA was a great pick. I also mentioned Ajax in one of the other videos, although they did have a merger with Kazoo, and I don't really like Kazoo that much, to be honest with you, but they posted great numbers, so maybe I'm underestimating them. I just don't know Kazoo well enough for me to make a knowledgeable statement about if that's going to be great for Ajax, but from what I've been hearing, investors didn't like it, so we'll see what happens. And I'm still waiting, of course, for the IPOF merger. PSTH got hit pretty hard because Bill Ackman said that their goal was to find a merger by the end of the first quarter, and they're very unlikely to hit that target. So that's what's happening over here. This is going to decrease. You might actually find that there are going to be some good deals. So just be on the lookout for that, but hold through the volatility. And remember, they're looking for a unicorn. Once they find one, it's going to be huge. So let's see what happens there. I'm hoping that it's going to be huge. That's just my guess. And I'm hoping that Bill Ackman comes through. And overall, SPACs have been getting hit hard. I was the SPAC guy. I loved SPACs, but the thing is, I knew from the very beginning, and I stressed this many times, that SPACs would be getting hit the hardest in a volatile market because they're highly volatile, obviously. So when you switch to a bear market, you got to take your money out of the volatile stocks if you're a super big whale and protect your investors. And that's exactly what's happening. But I'm holding through. I haven't sold anything, including my warrant bullet. I've had my swing bullet has IPOF in it. So if you're wondering if I got out, I did not. I'm holding through it. If you set stop losses, good for you. That's a proper way to do it. But I'm just powering through. I really do believe that my investments are going to come through eventually. Okay, that's it for me, Stock Bros. I'll be on the lookout for the next big pick, and I'll post a video for that maybe tomorrow. We'll see how the market goes. I might actually even have some options plays for you, and we'll see what happens. If we can capitalize on this volatile market, I'll put it out as soon as possible. We want to maybe have some pretty big puts on TLT or something like that. We'll see what happens, especially if bond yields keep going up. But that's another story for another day. But keep on the lookout. Make sure you have your stop losses set if you're profiting, for example. And just be careful in this volatile market. Be totally honest with you. But no matter what, we'll pull through. The market always does pull through. People need to make money. Wall Street needs to make money, and they're always going to be powering through. So just keep that in mind. All right, Stock Bros. So it might take a little while, but we'll eventually make those gains.